What's up, guys? Matthew here, getting ready to watch the season 2 finale of House of the Dragon. Last we finally got to see the dragon seeds. Hugh and Ulf claimed Vermithor and Silverwing, respectively. A great episode, probably like the second or third best of the season. I'm interested to see the finale now, unless you have been living under a rock or you're seeing this years in the future. The entire finale leaked a couple days ago. I completely stayed away from everything. I couldn't even use Reddit for a whole week, okay? Because the minute I would go in, there would be House of the Dragon spoilers. Clicked away, okay? I ain't getting spoiled. I've been waiting 5-6 years for this show. I'm not getting spoiled. All that I know is that there was some controversial stuff in it. But I will be the judge of that myself. I do not listen to others when it comes to opinions. I'm gonna see it for myself. I'm excited. This has been a weird season in the sense of they haven't really, not the, and it's hard to say. The pace hasn't been slow. But it's not achieved as much as it should have. And I know that some people might go, well, yeah, that means the pace is slow, you doofus. I don't quite think so. I think that the pace has been great. Maybe it's lacking one or two storylines. But I've been a fan of the season so far. Not everything in it. I've had major problems with certain things. But at the end of the episode, I'm going to try to have an extensive conversation about the season as a whole, certain characters, certain storylines, differences from the book, at the very end, so you guys don't get spoiled. But I'm just ready to hop into the episode. If you guys like the video, drop a like, leave a comment. I've got the full, uncut, unedited reaction up on Patreon if that's something that interests you. And if you like the content on the channel, I would really appreciate it if you guys subscribed. It really helps me out. Let's get into the season finale. Oh, what are they starting off with this banger music? Are we in the Stepstones? Oh, this is amazing. Are we gonna see Tylan the goat? Oh no, or we must be in Essos. Oh my god, it's Dario!
What of them? Give us the stepstones. We will impose a simple tax on those passing through. Recoup the losses we took fighting the Valarian hordes.
Extortion. You will drive up the price of basic goods.
It is better than starving.
A fleet of warships then. Sailing at your command, they would break the blockade.
I hope they give him a big role. I love Tylan's arc in the book.
Very well.
Well met, Lord Tywin.
It's Tylan.
You better raise her up.
Thin.
But also tall.
I will not sail with a man who cannot bear.
What is going on?
At what?
Bro. Are they about to fuck? What is going on? They've made it like literally every other character like semi-good, and they've just made this guy into a cartoon villain. And I don't hate it because he plays the part very well. Oh man, it's getting a little better. Getting too good for my taste.
We must leave King's Landing quickly, and we will not return for some time. The Pretender has found 3 new riders for her dragons.
That's impossible.
Roberto thought the same. He flew to Challenger and was rebuffed. Fled in terror, from what I hear.
He knows how to work him.
I am the king. Why must I run?
Because the Prince Regent is going to kill you.
Yeah, these two are the best part of the season without a doubt.
Take me to my throne. And once he returns, I shall
7 dragons.
Gonna get out and get Aemond and Rhaenyra to take them out, take each other out, clean up the ashes.
You want to take me to Essos to live with the goat fuckers?
Best to live, I think. However you do it.
Is it?
I need to talk about Larys' ambitions at the end.
Dead.
No, it isn't. It better not be. I'll tell you that much.
Can't even piss without it running down our neck.
They wouldn't.
Why did, what's with the obsession about the cock talk? Why didn't Larys should have told Aegon that his dragon is okay? I don't know if they're trying to trick the audience.
Aegon the victorious. Risen.
Aegon the magnanimous.
Aegon the peacemaker. Aegon the rebuilder.
Aegon the realm's delight.
Man, he's gonna steal her nickname? Oh, brother. Boo. How long has she been out here? I can't wait to see Sheep Stealer. I would assume they're gonna make it very Vaegor-like. Oh, dude, he's gonna hate these guys.
Remove your feet from the table.
I'd rather not.
Ulf, it's not up to you. Ulf?
Who's it up to then?
Oh, this man is strutting his stuff.
Prince Jacaerys Velaryon.
Prince Jacaerys Velaryon. Right here. Who'd have thought it?
The famous.
I'll have an apology from you.
Oh, the young prince! Look at that hair. As dark as they say.
I kind of love Ulf.
Let them tell us we don't have Targaryen blood, eh?
My mother is the queen.
Dragon riders both. You and I.
If you hinder our efforts through sloth or unreadiness, I will see you hanged and your body fed to the dogs in the
This is
street.
future king right here. His jaw is sharper than the Iron Throne. He's ready to rule now. He's better than Rhaenyra in every aspect.
But now the deed is done,
Oh, finally, Corlys is going to get a scene. Argue, please. There's an argument needs to happen here.
Vhaegar's not his only dragon.
the third brother is untested. He's never left Old Town, and his dragon is younger than Vermax.
But a dragon nonetheless. And you forget another.
Helena. She does not ride. She has no
What?
And her dragon.
Dreamfire.
Yo, I gotta talk about that bullshit. Helena loves riding in the book. It's like her favorite thing to do.
Aemon thought himself invincible. He has now discovered he is not.
I mean, I don't really like how they've sort of sidelined Corlys this season. I mean, you could argue he's the one running the Black Council for a good portion of the first part of the dance.
She was a testament to my own glory. I've given her a new name. Queen who never was.
Oh,
Your Grace, a word. It seems the sheep on our land has been sold upriver.
when is Alfred Broom gonna get here? This man is. Everyone else has been traveling faster and faster. This man taking forever.
Your Grace.
I summoned him.
While you have mustered an army, Rhaenyra has faltered, turning aside from our judgment and taking a course I myself deem reckless.
Rhaenyra will chart her own course, for good or ill.
You're of men. If you declare yourself, your lords will follow you.
Kithra Turcloak. Sir Alfred.
Intentions are good. But what we need in this moment is a king.
You can have a king and you can have a queen. Man, Sir Simon, he creeping right now.
Why does everybody hate her?
Oh my god, Helena has a scene.
And to hate.
Oh, and Allison is back. Sadly. Very sadly.
Drink this.
Allison as a character has gotten to the point where I have no prediction or knowing where she'll go because she's a completely different character from the book. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, that's yet to be seen. But I can't, like... So even though I do act in Wood, I am interested in her because I don't know anything about this character.
Now.
Pretenders raise new riders against us. We must answer in kind. I need you to fly with Dreamfire to battle.
End.
I do not wish to fight.
Do what is necessary to preserve the throne.
I won't burn anyone.
Isn't a question. They have defiled our birthright, made commoners into dragon lords. It is a sin and must be punished.
May I remind you, your sister is still the queen.
As you were once. And you see now what is the consequence of your weakness. We are in peril today more than yesterday.
Mind. Peril or basest fury at your own humiliation. In kingdoms, but you rain ruin and death upon its small folk when you've been insulted. Because it makes you feel strong. Of all our line, the gentlest and most deserving of your protection.
Who will protect her if she cannot protect herself?
And who will she be if her mind is broken?
It is no longer our rule that is threatened.
No, it's gonna break.
Let us prevail.
Not like this. Not like this.
I don't like this Alicent. I like Cersei Alicent from the book. I don't know. It's just I don't know.
I must again request your assistance. I need passage. No discretion.
She's gonna go to Dragonstone. They're gonna fucking redo the stupid ass episode 3 scene.
Or perhaps all men are corrupt. And true honor is a mist.
All men are corrupt, and women are perfect.
That is a bleak philosophy.
I have no philosophy. Or rather, my philosophy was this.
This is the greatest swordsman alive today, okay? And I don't really think they portray that to the audience. Same thing with Kristen, like, I don't know, he's just, I'm not gonna say I hate him, but, like, he's just kind of iffy. And again, I'm not putting, like, 1000% blame on the showrunners because adapting this story is hard. There are so many gaps, specifically on the personal side of characters. But I don't think they filled them with perfect stuff. What is this? It's this right here. Okay, this feels very late stage Game of Thrones, where they would go, okay, let's have a comedic scene. Let's have a, you know what I mean, like.
So you reject the hospitality of my house? I jest, my lord.
Better watch out. Tyrion's gonna pop up, start making cock jokes.
It does not befit a prince to pout.
He pouts all the time! That's his entire character! He pouts!
You know what I am.
I don't care. You are the crown prince, the son of the rightful queen, and here you are sulking.
I do like their relationship. I like what they've done, but they've not shown enough of it. So it feels like whatever good they do, they don't show enough of it.
It's Thailand.
You have proven yourself most accommodating. And more accomplished than one would think.
It's a pet peeve. They're making this seem very comedic. I know where this storyline leads to, and it's not a comedic thing. We complain about them not showing certain stuff or cutting stuff from the books or not giving enough character or time to characters like Helena or Aegon in season 1, but we had 3 or 4 comedic Thailand scenes already, and I love Thailand, but not comedic Thailand.
Alone without allies. You will have no choice but to surrender.
You wish for us to kill innocents.
That was a jump.
It cannot be helped.
Olaf is like, yeah, let's do it.
The will of our enemy. Or more will die in a struggle that stretches on without end.
He's picking his teeth, bro.
Prince Regent cannot defend against all of us.
I'll take him on myself. Silver Wings a go as she is. We're afraid of nothing.
Oh, is Ulf my new favorite character of the Blacks?
There will be time enough to see which one of us is a coward.
I said more of these little birds.
A knight will comport himself with grace at the queen's table.
Best make me a knight then. Forget yourself. Friend. Sense of humour do you all good.
Something I like in the book that I don't know if they've necessarily shown, I really like how the bad guys, they're not cowards. Like, they're not complete cowards. Oh, Damon getting in contact. I like that in the books, how even the bad guys, they have moments of bravery.
Sir Simon strong. Damon has raised his army. But Sir Simon fears treachery.
Sir Simon! You betrayed Damon? It's the final, the magnum opus of dreams. Alice is also confusing me as a character. Caring about small folk and all that. What the fuck is that? What's he gonna see? Blood Raven? What the heck? Showing him the future? Daenerys? What is going on? Why? What is the point of showing him that?
What a story.
Helena? What's with the Harry Potter ass music?
You know your part.
That was... What the fuck was that?
I know you wish no harm to anyone. But in a time like this, when the good of the realm depends on us, Mother is not a dragon rider. She cannot understand that you and I have a truer call to heed. Come with me.
I don't... They're given, like, every Targaryen dreams.
We will lay waste to Daemon and his army. Let our enemies see that we will answer outrage with outrage.
And if I refuse, will you burn me as you did Aegon?
Is he tearing up?
You burned him, and you let him fall.
Man, I got a lot to talk about at the end of the episode.
You say it's treason.
Aegon will be king again. He's yet to see victory. He sits on a wooden throne. And you...
Not very cryptic here. Just sort of like... saying.
be dead. You were swallowed up in the god's eye, and you are never seen again.
What happened to the bug shit? She's just kind of spitting. She's just kind of spoiling. Oh. Okay, so Rhaenyra and Adam. Of course. Gotta have the dramatic dragon appearance. Somebody gonna announce that the queen is here? Kneel, guys, kneel! This just gonna be a spectacle of him giving her the army?
I see you have done well here.
Yes, sworn to me. And to murder too soon.
And to whom are you sworn?
You, my queen. Oh. This obsession with the prophecy is dragging the show down. Especially because the prophecy is not true.
You are the true queen, Rhaenyra. First of her name. Protector of the world.
The whole... all of them? Oh, okay.
Please with me. Until death. Or the end of our story.
Alfred's like, fuck, man.
There will be no mercy! We fight for our queen!
Yeah, look at Alfred, bro. He's trying to get away. I love Sir Simon. Sir Simon might be one of my favorite characters right now. At the end of the episode, I'm going to really talk about prophecy and the downfall that it can cause in a show like this. Like,
The grandfathers. We snared upon us bastards. Never sure of the bread to feed us. Do you know what hunger does to a boy? What grief does? For shame, you are dismissed. I thought fish in the market.
they give this argument to Corlys to make him look worse, but they don't give his argument to Rhaenyra to make Rhaenyra look worse.
The man beside me walked past with his son and heir, with fur around his shoulders. And now that boy is dead, and his sister before him, and the heir that took his place. And now you remember I live. Now you wish suddenly to scatter the crumbs of your favor. Honorable man, and I will serve you because I must. But if it is all the same, I will decline any offers of help.
Come on, Alan. Good ass scene.
Alone.
Okay. Just in one scene, not that I was bored of him or anything like that, because I had been loving him so far, but really, that was a damn good scene. Really. Let's get another minute of boring ass walking while I rant about how good Alan was in that scene. I gotta learn that actor's name. I've yet to delve deep into the acting list this season, but that gentleman, a fine actor. Oh, brother.
The gods favor you.
Got a lot to talk about. Got a lot to talk about.
I do not believe my father would have wished it.
I do not wish to be Queen of the Ashes. What would you have me do? Oh my fucking god, dude. Oh my god. I see why this was controversial. This relationship is not the most important part of the show. It's the war. And it should be the relationship between her and Aegon.
That there was security.
Oh, she is pregnant, dude.
Or rather, it was taken from me. All those I put my faith in, my husband, my father, my lover, my son.
The incorruptible queen sullies herself with a lover.
Do not judge me for what you yourself have done. I took comfort with another. I too have desires.
Yes, but you alone made virtue your banner.
And I clung to it. In defiance of you, I think, who so disdained it.
It's great because these two are such good actors, like, but I have not enjoyed the way that they've done them recently.
How lovely for you. I thought for the first time what I would choose. If not for the duty I put before all else.
Shall you cast your son down and rule alone?
No, I do not wish to rule, I wish to live. There's plotting and striving. The crown will pursue war and victory at any cost. But as for me, I would take my daughter and her child and leave it all behind.
It's too late. Alicent. You said it yourself. Blood has been shed. Cities burned. Armies marched.
This idea of the two sides not wanting to go to war is a good idea, except it should be done by now. The killing of Lucerys and Jaehaerys ends that for both sides.
Leave us behind, as you say. Wander in the wilderness.
She already did that. You're the rightful ruler.
Come here thinking you would be absolved.
I do like the continuity of her biting her nails. I was wrong. This whole episode is just building up Rhaenyra as the rightful ruler.
He was very fond of me, and I of him, but she was the vision that's
And I could see a storyline where Rhaenyra gets it into her head that she's such an amazing, perfect ruler, and it gets to her head, but even still.
You believe he wavered at the end? Why have you come here?
Aemon will soon fly to join Cole on the Riverlands. When he's gone. If you come then to King's Landing, I will see to it that our guards throw down their arms. We will open the gates. We will shed no blood. You will enter as a conqueror. You have the strong hand. Once you take the throne, this senseless war must end.
What of Aegon?
He's broken beyond recognition.
No, he isn't.
He lies in the dark, in pain and terror. He has many faults, but he still heeds his mother. I believe I can prevail upon him to bend the knee.
No! Still! You defend him!
What has Aegon done? He was forced to be king.
I am to take the throne. I must put an end to the opposition. I must take Aegon's head. And I have to do it for all to see. You know this. However you may try to evade it, you know this.
I would love it if Rhaenyra locks Alicent up at the end of this conversation. But maybe they don't have the balls to do that. What is the Green Army? Is it just Aemond now? If his own mother has tried to get Rhaenyra to take the city.
Go to do what I promised. And you fly to the Red Keep in 3 days' time, and you take your throne.
3 days?
I haven't had the weapon nor armor. My life itself is forfeit. I cast myself on the mercy of a friend who once loved me.
Hold, Queen.
everything for power and then defeat it. Let them think what they must. To die unremarked, unnoticed. And be free.
What makes it worse is Alicent's fate, from what I know in the book. Come with me. Dude.
My part is here. Where will they know?
Alicent's fate in the book does not fit whatever this character is, so they have to completely rewrite that, and I don't trust these guys to rewrite a character. I've said how the book, Fire and Blood, is so difficult to adapt, but instead of trying to adapt it, I feel like they've just gone and said, okay, well, it'd be easier if we just recreate. Because this Alicent is not the Alicent in the book. It's completely different. Rhaenyra is completely different. You know what I mean? They've bumped Alicent up to be arguably the second most important character of the show when she's a side character in the book. And they're doing a lot of good. Adam, Alan, Hugh, and Ulf have been fantastic so far. Jace has been great, yet a lack of screen time. Daemon has been good, but I don't even know. He's not the Rogue Prince. Daemon has been good, but he's not the Rogue Prince. And what are we having? Some sort of Sons of Anarchy end of season montage to end it off, where we gonna see Daeron? Is that Tessarion? Is it blue? Is it blue? Yeah, it's kind of blue. I'm very hyped to see Daeron. I think that they can... But here's the thing. Even someone like Daeron, I can't wait to see Daeron. They can't do Bitterbridge like the book. So they're either going to have to completely cut Bitterbridge or do something completely different. Oh! The Winter Wolves are here. Oh, I'll tell you what, though. All this stuff, the music... The music is fucking fantastic. Being able to transition from Targaryen to Stark to Lannister in one beat is fantastic. I gotta be honest, people who have watched a lot of television, let me know in the comments. There has never been an end of season montage that has made me excited. Oh, we're gonna open up season 3 with the Gullet, I would presume. Which again, that scares me. That seems like it's the same problem with Blood and Cheese, where the moment was good, but it was really, like, abrupt. And not built up as it should have been. The Gullet could very well be the Battle of the Blackwater for Game of Thrones. Are we gonna end it with her claiming Sheep Stealer? Oh, it does look awesome. Is that Otto? He's been captured. He's in his Jaime Lannister arc right now. They got out. This is a strong point of the season. Aegon and Larys has been fantastic. Same with Otto. Those three are probably the best characters of the season. Undoubtedly. Great shot. Fantastic shot. Fantastic. I'll never question the cinematography of this show at all. It's always been fantastic, albeit maybe at moments a little dark. But not this season. This season was really good with that. That was the finale of Season 2 of House of the Dragon. I will see you guys in 2 years to watch the Season 3 premiere. That was an okay episode. I'm not going to say that was bad. I don't really... I'm going to pick it apart here in my mind and, of course, over the coming months. So maybe I will grow to maybe think even less of it. But it was okay. I mean, it wasn't eventful. And for a show that really should be like 4 seasons, it feels like they're trying to stretch this out to maybe 6 or 7. They're adding so much stuff that isn't in the books, and then it's something I don't understand this. as a fan, and also someone who wants to write. If my job was to adapt something that was beloved, I wouldn't want to change it that much. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me being naive and inexperienced. And I'm not saying that, you know, you can take George R. R. Martin's work and one-to-one adapt it on screen, especially a book like Fire and Blood, which is not a book. It's a history book, you know what I mean? But even still, like, there's so many plot lines and characters and storylines that they just skip over. They don't give enough time and respect to, and then just change things. I saw a quote from Condell maybe 2 weeks ago that said, like, you know, the relationship between Rhaenyra and Alicent is what people want to see. It's the most important part of the show. And that's just... It's not. It's not. I loved Alicent for the first 8 episodes of season 1. Like, loved her. Like, she was arguably my favorite character. Because they did something so great. And I said, why change things? But when you do change things, you make it good. I really respect it. I really liked the decision to age down Alicent, to make her Rhaenyra's age, to make them childhood friends. I feel like that adds another layer of conflict. That being said, Alicent needs to grow. And she hasn't grown. She's just gone back. They've made her a character that's all about good now. When in the book, and I'm not going to spoil like future events or anything like that, but in the book she's a lot more Cersei-like. You know what I mean? That sort of scheming, manipulative character. Okay, and I understand the hardship of writing. At this point in the book, Alicent is a non-factor, and she does not factor into the rest of the story. And obviously, with how important they made Alicent in season 1, I can see why they would need to bring her up. But she should... I'm interested to see the screen time. I bet she was like the second most screen time character, or third for this season, when that should not be the case. Okay, what makes Game of Thrones so good is the format of bouncing around places. After season 1, there is no main character. And that the House of the Dragon should have followed that format to a T. To an absolute T. You know, the first season, the main character should be Rhaenyra. You know what I mean? And then once the war starts, which it should have started after Lucerys' death, and it should have 100% started after Blood and Cheese, but once that moment starts, we should bounce around everywhere. We should go see Daeron in the Reach. We should have followed the Winter Wolves immediately. We better get a Winter Wolves continued storyline in season 3. I mean, they play such an integral part of the story. You know what I mean? And I don't know anything about him from the show so far. I don't know anything about Daeron other than the fact that he's good. You know what I mean? I'm going to be ranting for a while here. So it's just... I don't know. It's weird with some of the changes they have done. Like I said, Alicent in the book, she is the schemer behind putting Aegon on the throne. You know what I mean? Like... And they, not only did they take that away from her in the show, but then they also just made her a character that didn't even want to do that now. You know what I mean? They're gonna make it so that she's the one who lets Rhaenyra into King's Landing. That's not needed. You know what I mean? Like, it's war. They should take it. Like, you know what I mean? So... it's just confusing. I think that so far, the two characters whom I dislike the changes the most have been Alicent 100% on like a I hate this scale. And then probably Kristen on a what are you doing scale. You know what I mean? Rhaenyra, I want to focus on Rhaenyra here a minute. I liked her in the last 2 episodes. But... again, it's another situation where they've completely changed her character. I really like Rhaenyra in the book because she's not... This really feels like they're trying to capitalize on the success of Daenerys and making her a woman savior sort of character where she's good and, you know what I mean, she makes all the right decisions all the time. And I don't think it fits. I like Rhaenyra because she is a different character, okay? She's lazy and she's spoiled in the book. And she's like a spoiled brat. It's almost like Joffrey grown up. Okay, and obviously that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but not that much. For people who haven't read the book, that is not that much of an exaggeration for Rhaenyra in the book. And I could very clearly, I see them sort of setting the seeds of turning Rhaenyra into a character who's exactly like Daenerys in the book, that gets too full of herself, in the show, who gets too full of herself and, tries to, maybe all that power gets to her head because she believes she's the chosen one. But we already saw that with Daenerys. And even if it was shitty in the show, that's not what should happen. That should not be Rhaenyra's character. And then leading into Rhaenyra, they've got Daemon sort of following Rhaenyra, believing she's a rightful queen. But why? You know what I mean? And I assume it's going to get to a situation where he finds out about the Mysaria stuff and, leaves or whatever. But I don't understand some of these changes because they're huge. I got, for future, maybe for next season, I've got a bullet point on a doc right before I start stuff I want to talk about, because I feel like I talk 70% of what I want to talk about and then I forget certain stuff. But Daemon this season, obviously it's hard, like we've talked about with multiple characters. Daemon in the books, he just goes to the Riverlands and gets an army. That's the beginning and end of the Harrenhal plot, basically. So I understand the necessity to add things, and I did like the Bracken and Blackwood spat, and I did like a couple of the hallucinations at Harrenhal, but that last one, they're changing Daemon into a character who believes that Rhaenyra is the rightful queen because she's good and she's just and prophecy, but he's the rogue prince. You know what I mean? He's not a follower. Not as in he didn't follow Rhaenyra in the books, because there's no hesitation of Daemon's loyalty to her at this point in the story. But there's a sense of stripping away the complexity in Daemon and just making it so that his only motivation is she's the rightful ruler. She's perfect. Seeing these visions, who it's talking about visions. Helena, again, they've completely changed Helena, and I'm not saying that that's perfect or that's good. In this situation, I'm not giving you an opinion yet, but changing Helena into a dragon-flying, loving, okay, it's like her favorite activity, person who is beloved by the Smallfolk. Absolutely beloved. Okay, the Smallfolk, it's like Mega Marjorie from Game of Thrones, okay? They love her. They worship her every step. And that's a part of it. She doesn't, in the book, she doesn't want conflict, you know what I mean? She doesn't want to be a part of that world. But here they've given her this dragon dreaming scenario, which, a lot of Targaryens in the history of George's world are dragon dreamers, but these don't feel like important. You know what I mean? First of all, they get rid of her reaction to blood and cheese. Okay, and it almost feels like she didn't even care about it that much. In fact, I'm pretty sure there was a scene where she was like, oh, the small folk go through so much, this is basically nothing compared to that, or something to that, which, that's a cop-out. And they're not even, these dragon dreams, they've stopped becoming, not prophetic. They're not, riddles or anything like that. She's just saying shit that's gonna happen. You know what I mean? I did like Daemon, but this is also my question, what did Daemon see in those visions? Because I saw him going down into that body of water. Does he know his fate? And if so, I don't know if I like that. I don't know. I'm going to transfer into a complete spoiler discussion right here. I thank you guys for watching. I cannot wait to watch Season 3 with you guys. If you guys like the video, drop a like, leave a comment. I'd appreciate it. I've got the full-length reaction down below, and if you guys subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. I will see you guys possibly in 2 years for Season 3. Okay, I'm going to get into the spoiler discussion right now. It's just it's stuff like did Daemon see that he was going to die at the God's Eye? Because if he did, I don't like that. I don't like that. And then Aemon knowing that he's going to die at the God's Eye. It takes... I don't know. That's the thing with prophecy. The thing that George does so great with prophecy is he does it in a way that, you know, whatever a character does, when they hear a prophecy, they try to get away from it, and it leads them right into it. You can't really do that with this Daemon and Aemon thing, because Aemon specifically... He's told by his by Helaena, you're going to die at the God's Eye. So just don't go to the God's Eye. You know what I mean? But he's going to go at some point. And it's going to happen. So it's just... I don't know. I think that they thought that Helaena was a boring character. And they sort of just said, oh, let's give her prophetic dreams. And they haven't, like, been integral to her character. It's just been, like... She's almost like an Easter egg character. She's just saying Easter eggs and little pieces of foreshadowing that book readers can go, oh, she said it, she said the thing. And that's not entertaining. Like, obviously in the moment, you're like, oh, that's so cool. But when you really think about it, what's the point of that? Why did you tell me that information? And especially, why did you tell show only watchers this information? You tell a showrunner, the God's Eye is going to swallow you to Aemon. They're like, okay, well, something happens at the God's Eye. When that, you don't, a legendary moment like that, you should try to keep it as surprising as possible, at least in my opinion. So, I don't know. I wrote a whole bunch of stuff down here. I want to talk about it real fast. The one major thing, it's small changes. Like, I've been talking about Helaena not liking riding Dreamfire? Why? Like, why would you change something like that? I mean, Helaena loving riding her dragon isn't like a thing that makes her bad or anything like that. It's just a thing that she loves. You know what I mean? And it's not like... I don't understand. I just don't understand small changes like that. I don't understand. That the Daemon prophecy stuff is a little weird. And it's one of those things I sort of... The one thing I hate when there's prophecy or like foreshadowing or anything like that. And I don't understand what Daemon saw. Daemon saw Daenerys with dragons. Does he know like the story behind it? Or did he just see a woman with dragons? Birthing dragons. You know what I mean? And if so, if he did see Daenerys, why would he think that Rhaenyra is the rightful queen? You know what I mean? It's confusing. The White Walkers. It's so stupid. This made-up prophecy, and it's for the show only. You know what I mean? It's dampening the impact of characters and their motivations. Daemon, like I said, Daemon, the rogue prince. Okay, you don't know what he's thinking. He's one of the most complex characters George R.R. Martin has ever written, and you're just now boiling that down to him seeing the end of the world, basically, and then going, oh, we have to stop it. And it's a double negative, because we who have seen Game of Thrones know that this shit doesn't matter. Okay, because it's not Daenerys. It's not Jon. It's not Targaryens that end it. It's fucking Arya Stark for some stupid fucking reason. So why should we care? And obviously, it's just appealing to casual fans. That's the reason they changed Rhaenyra from the dark gray character, like the books, into this savior, who, again, I talked about it a little bit in the non-spoiler reaction. I can see a world where they have her character be, you know, it gets to her head, and the ego and the power corrupts her. But we already saw that with Daenerys. I think it would be very interesting to see a character like Rhaenyra when she was younger turn into what Joffrey would be like with power as an adult. You know what I mean? And they've stripped it away from her. They've really made it so that I think all of my complaints about this show I think the main thing that I can say is that they're trying to build the non-war part. It's probably, you know what, I'll boil it down to this. I bet that all of my complaints and problems with the show revolves around the budget that they have. I'm pretty sure that they had intense budget issues this season and season 1, and they couldn't really tell the story of the dance, because the dance is a war. It's a civil war from start to finish. It's battle after battle after battle, and they obviously don't have the money to do all these battles. So they're pacing these seasons around no battles, keeping it as peaceful as possible. But here's the thing, if you don't have battles, and this is something they can tell, if we don't have the budget for battles, we have to keep the characters from wanting to fight. And I think that that's the main issue. They didn't want Rhaenyra to be bloodthirsty and full of bloodlust immediately, because they didn't have the budget to show that. Obviously, episode 9 of season 1 is where the problems really, really... Well, the final scene of episode 8 of season 1 is where the problems start to seep in, with the return of the prophecy. And then ruining Alicent's character right then and there. Ruining Aegon's coronation. And it feels like ever since it's just been an up and down battle, you know what I mean? Where they should do something really good and then they do something really bad, really confusing, and I don't understand why they would make a change like that. So, I don't know. Another final thing I want to talk about, relating to Rhaenyra and Mysaria, actually. I would assume that the storyline they're going to go with now is that Mysaria is actually, again, like I said a couple episodes ago, Mysaria has taken the Varys show role, where instead of being a schemer who has gray intentions, they've just sort of changed her into a good for the people, good for the small folk. Like Alice, I'm also going to talk about Alice after this. But they've changed Mysaria into someone who only cares about the small folk and is actually really good and really nice because she's a woman. She's not a male schemer like Larys or Varys or Littlefinger or anything like that. She's perfect and she's a woman. But I can see the storyline now being that she, like a Tyrion season 7 and 8 character, loves the ruler that they serve and tries to give them the best information. I can see a world in which Mysaria's information, like Varys and like Tyrion, is wrong, and the ruler turns on them. And I can see a world where maybe Rhaenyra's first really dark act of the show is maybe killing Mysaria. Maybe they might change that. I could definitely see that. But it's just... That's another thing. Corlys. I loved the scene with Corlys and Alan. But Corlys was sidelined for this whole season. I mean, Corlys plays such an integral part of the Black Council. It's funny. It's really funny. In the show, they've talked about people not being war ready and not being experienced because it's been such a long period of peace. Yet they're not treating Corlys with respect and looking at him with the eyes of someone who has been in war. Like Corlys has, because Corlys is the most experienced commander alive right now. They just sort of sidelined him, had him have the same conversation with his wife 7 times, and then not have an argument with Rhaenyra. When there should be an argument, there should be conflict. Especially with what happens later in the book with Corlys and Rhaenyra. Again, it's good and bad. They're changing... Well, it's bad. I'm going to say that. It's bad, but I have optimism. Always. This show could do 20 things wrong in a row. I'm still going to watch, and I'm still going to hope for the best. But they're changing so much stuff that I do not know what direction it will go with certain characters. I want to talk real quick before I forget. I will go back to Alice in 1 second. My most anticipated moment, everything. The Second Battle of Tumbleton, Butcher's Ball, the Fish Feed, the Battle Above the God's Eye. My most anticipated moment, and my favorite moment from Fire and Blood and from the Dance of the Dragons, is Aegon and Rhaenyra's standoff at Dragonstone. That is my favorite moment. specifically because of how anticlimactic it is, how blunt it is, and most importantly because Aegon says a fantastic line, one of the best lines in Fire and Blood. Okay, if they search the seven hells, mayhaps, or something like that. That right there, that's my favorite moment, and I really do not want them to ruin that. And I have a feeling that they might. I saw some people joking, like, maybe with Aegon not speaking Valyrian well is Chekhov's gun situation, where he's going to command Sunfire to do something and he's accidentally going to kill Rhaenyra, which would fit with what the show has been doing so far. I don't think they'll do that, but obviously the one main change that I can guarantee you is that Alicent will be there to see it. But what I predict is going to happen is Alicent's going to be there to see it, and then Alicent is going to be the one to poison Aegon and kill him. And then she's going to be locked up and rot in the cell. I think that's how they're going to change it. But my main thing that I really do not want, I do not want this to be a scenario where Aegon's got Rhaenyra, and Rhaenyra, instead of saying the exact lines from the book, okay, with Rhaenyra being so smug and cocky that she's going to escape the situation. Okay, I feel like they're going to make it so that she's like, oh, kill me, burn me, like a real dragon rider or something like that, trying to make it a badass moment. When that moment isn't badass, it's supposed to be brutal and anticlimactic. And it's supposed to show Aegon and Rhaenyra as spoiled little children. And I think that that's what's missing. That's my favorite part about the Dance of the Dragons. The Targaryen dynasty is almost brought down by two unfit rulers. Okay, because of the way that their upbringing and their smugness and the two factions brewing hatred, instilling hatred, and forcing them to fight against each other. You know what I mean? And we've not seen that yet. I'm interested to see what they're going to do with Aegon next season, whether they're going to keep him on screen or not. It's crazy to think that, like, Season 3, with the pacing that they've been doing, I would assume not, but, like, Season 3 really should have, like, stuff like the Battle Above the God's Eye. And they're probably not going to show it. But just thinking, we got the first Battle of Tumbleton, Honey Wine, probably the Fish Feed, God's Eye. We've got all this stuff. We have all this stuff. You know what I mean? I am intrigued to see how they were going to do it. And obviously, all these complaints, I'm still loving the show. And I'm still liking the show. I'm still going to watch it. I'm still hyped for every episode. Because even if they do mess up certain things, I just want them to hit on something. I can't wait for the Battle of the God's Eye. I really need them to do it perfectly. That moment I talked about, my most anticipated, I need them to do it perfectly. Another thing, real quick, I talked about it a little bit in the episode. I don't understand the change with Daeron. Daeron has a badass moment with Bitterbridge, and obviously because of the death of Maelor. What are they going to do with that? What's going to be the catalyst for starting that? Because Maelor's not here. Real quick, the final thing I want to talk about, because I know I've ranted on too long, and I know nobody's even watching at this point. But my final thing, and I should have talked about this earlier, I just didn't want to lose my train of thought talking about Mysaria. They've also changed Alice into the same sort of character. I don't know Alice's motivations in the show so far, but it seems like they're making her a small folk good, rulers bad, the real prophecy, the long night. They're making her into some, you know what I mean, good sorcerer who's trying to warn people. I don't like that. I like Alice being a bad guy in the book, a mysterious figure who, like Daemon, you know what I mean, who you don't know their motivations, but all that you know is she's not trying to, like, it seems like she's friendly with Daemon and is trying to push him in the right direction. Does that mean that Alice is going to be manipulating Aemond? I don't know, because it didn't feel like there was any malice in Alicent's interactions with Daemon. It didn't feel like that. It felt like she was trying to push him on the right path, show him things that would help him in his war, and more specifically help him on the personal side. And I don't understand that. Is she going to do the same thing with Aemond, or is she going to be the exact opposite and think that Aemond is the bad guy and try to trick him into maybe confronting Daemon at the God's Eye. You know what I mean? So, I do not know. This is going to be the last time I'm going to speak about House of the Dragon on the channel for a while. Whenever there's a long gap between seasons, I do rewatch a show. So for the beginning of season 3, maybe, hopefully, if this channel does some success and I've got people rewatching this to get ready for season 3 reactions, just know that I rewatched the first 2 seasons going into the 3rd season. I'm excited. I'm very excited. I hope to see you guys. I hope I'm still doing this when House of the Dragon season 3 starts. I hope I find some success with this. Because so far, it's been about 2 months since I started this. I've been having a lot of fun with it. And these House of the Dragon videos, even though they're not been getting a super duper big amount of views, I do love talking about Song of Ice and Fire because it is one of the pieces of fiction that I am most passionate about. So that's going to be it for this episode. If you guys liked the video, drop a like, leave a comment. I would really appreciate it. I've got the full-length, the hour and 40-minute long full-length reaction on Patreon. If that's something you're interested in, I'd appreciate it if you checked it out. And most importantly, if you guys could give me a subscription, I would really appreciate it. It really helps me out. I will see you guys hopefully as soon as possible for Season 3 of House of the Dragon.